All right, guys. Hope you guys are all doing well. It's always time to get this show on the road. So without further ado, guys, good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening, no matter where we are around the world. Welcome to yet another edition of the London session. Once again, looking forward to seeing what we can come up with moving forward here today on the gold in particular. I'll also have a look at other pairs, other charts as per request. Gold still in a bit of a sell-off at the minute. We've already broken over the previous daily. I mean, we'll look into the analysis shortly. So it looks like we're quite bearish here on gold again today. Hopefully today we'll have some nice moves though, and not just consolidate all London, more pre-London into the London Open. But anyway, guys, what we'll do is we'll do the analysis. We'll come up with a plan for today's session, and we'll patiently sit and wait as we do and see if it does present. In the meantime, guys, though, you do know the drill. If you could, make sure the few of you on the stream, make sure you've all hit the like button like that. Make sure hit the like button. Any charts, any questions, anything you'd like me to go over, I will happily have a look at those for you shortly. But in the meantime, let's take a look first of all at the all-important news to see if there is anything scheduled for our stream here today. Getting a little bit sick of seeing that face, to be honest. Every time you refresh the Forex factory page, is always there, but what can you do? So big day for the pound with CPI to come. It is to come in less than 10 minutes from now. At the Euro Open, moving forward into NY, we have FOMC. Okay, so big day. Perhaps gold could be a little bit quiet prior to it, but it remains to be seen. Doesn't necessarily mean it won't make any moves, but obviously that is a big event. So that is something to keep an eye on. But that is, for most of you, will be off the charts at that point either way. But nonetheless, we know it's there. So, and as always, anything could break at any point in time. So keep your finger on the pulse when it comes to the news. Anyway, guys, let's have a look at the gold, and let's start with, as always, the weekly time frame. And what we can see is, so pulling back once again deeper into that support. So back below 4,500 level, which I did mention yesterday is a really key level, mentioned on Monday obviously as well. Psychological number. Now what I want to see is, have we actually closed below it on the daily? Because if we have so, then that, in my opinion, could lead to, once again, a deeper correction. And what we can see in a daily is the fact that we actually have closed below 4,500, and we do have daily counter probabilities now to the downside. So based on the daily time frame, what I am seeing is there is potential for us to come down towards that 43.80 sort of region, 43.60, 50, that sort of region. Seeing we do have the bearish counter probabilities now in the daily time frame. So what I'm going to do is mark in both the daily low and daily high. Seeing we have now broken the low of that previous strong, almost engulfing bearish candle, we have no need to necessarily pull back up and break our own high. However, if we do so, we'll see what sort of catalyst, if any, we may have to look for some potential buys above that point. Aside from that, what we're likely going to be doing is looking for levels within it where we could potentially sell it from, or upon continuation below the current daily candle's low. So we've pulled back to a point where I believe is a good level for price to reject within the current daily against the previous daily. Lines up with some support to the left. We would use a fib, it probably lines up with around that 0.382 to between 0.382 and the 50%. So to me, definitely a good level for price to potentially reject from. But we'll see what other information we have as we go down to, at this right now, the 4-hour and then the M15. So the 4-hour structure, as I mentioned yesterday, is bearish. What we can see is the daily high again lines up with some support to the left. So once again, I think a really good level for price to reject. So having said that, as I mentioned before, I don't feel there's necessarily much of a need for us to pop back up and break our own high if we were to continue in line with the direction of the weekly and that previous daily candle. So we're bearish here on the 4-hour. Let's have a look to the downside. We can see though we are currently at a level of support on the 4-hour. Also got another level a little bit lower down. We'll mark that in to begin, and then we'll make our way down to the 15. I'll mark in a level here on the 15. And yeah, I'll leave that in gray, seeing it lines up with some previous support on the 4-hour. So what we're going to do is mark in the current daily candles high and a little bit above it. Because above that point, we can see we've got some very clean traffic. Also above that point is the level where Well, look, you could argue that's where it really flips structure back bullish. However, to be technical about it, what I'm seeing on my broker's chart is this is consecutive bullish candles here. That's not a bearish doji, it's a bullish doji. So technically speaking, on my broker's chart, structure will flip back bullish above that point there on the M15 time frame. So I'm gonna mark in some support now, obviously to the downside, and we know it is a 4-hour level, so we'll mark that in gray. Now below the Asian range low, let's quickly zoom out to the left hand side here and let's see what sort of levels and we have. So we're just going to mark it in for horizontal. All right, so we got a level not a great deal below the current daily counters low, so maybe it's just something to be wary of. However, I'm not in all that concerned by it. Reason being is because we are obviously in quite strong bearish at the moment. The bias, the M15 is bearish. It's bearish across the board. If we pick up with the volume and we have obviously at that point the momentum back to the downside, I do believe if we begin to pop below the Asian range low, only to perhaps pull back within it, retest this support, begin to reject and pull away from it, and with the volume and momentum, it's a good chance we could just push through that support at that 44.48. But irrespective, what I could do is make sure I manage to trade at that point, knowing that it could actually bounce off it, knowing that we are technically at a 4-hour support as well. So it's a level I'm going to keep marked in, knowing that if we get the opportunity to sell below the low, I may need to start to consider managing it if it taps into that level. So I'll be looking for potential sales below 44.57. Once again, would preference it tapping in and breaking below the Asian range low, only to pull back and retest this support and look for rejection sell options. Now, further options for me in regards to sells would be definitely upon a pullback and rejection of this 44.82 sort of region, 44.80. As long as we tap into the resistance and price gives me a catalyst within, obviously price action gives me a signal, then I would definitely be considering my sell options. Not interested in, actually I'll get to the buys shortly. Further sell options is going to be upon a deeper pullback. Even if it flips the 15-minute structure at that point there, it's still bearish in the other time frames. And as I mentioned, so long as we respect the current daily counters high, I would prefer to sell it. So even if we were to sweep the Asian range high, only to pop back below, so the current daily high, and that to me could lead to another sell-off back down to the current daily counters low. So I would consider sells from higher up. Now, in regards to any possible buys, now I'm not interested in buying it from this support because we are very bearish at the minute. However, what would lead me to consider that we could make a bit of a deeper pullback would be if we were to manage to close above the resistance at this 44.8750 sort of region. So as I mentioned, my broker's chart, it would technically be flipping structure back bullish above that point. So long as we trigger in some sellers, trap those sellers, begin to close above, we have some clean traffic above that 44.87, and that could lead price pushing up towards the current daily counters high, where we could look for rejection sell. So that is the only level at the minute where I would consider buy options moving forward. Otherwise, bearish bias today, guys. Preferring sell options. Would rather pull back up to sweep some liquidity and reject for some pullback sells. That is what I'm currently looking at, team. Hopefully it makes sense to you guys. I'll just put that back in because I know people are going to come on shortly and ask what I'm looking at today. Just saves me having to go over it a million times. At least this might stop some of those questions being asked. All right, so hopefully it made sense, and make sure, guys, to hit like button. Let's get numbers onto the stream. If you could help me out, don't forget, guys, to hit like button. Let's just remove that. We're seeing we're far off it for the time being, and we'll focus on this as the current range. And the minute, this range is not really tradable. It's a choppy area. These wicks make it a little bit awkward, so we're just going to chill and wait a little bit longer. Now, having a look at GU, yesterday's Asian range strategy would have worked. Definitely would have worked. You would have been sat in a bit of drawdown, but it definitely would have worked. Similar analysis. Well, it's the same analysis every day if I am trading GU. It's the one strategy I'm trading on it. So what you'll be looking at is the Asian range high and low, right in the middle of it in the minute. Nothing else going on. and I'd just be looking for a close above or below. We're nowhere near it, so we won't bother so much with it in a minute. Let's quickly look at German 40. Don't know if it's really worth doing the analysis, but anyway, I will do it quickly. Weekly, as we can see, is forming once again back bullish, so it's just really choppy on that higher time frame here as well. We have a lower low, higher high, so forming strong bullish, but it could easily flip. But it was also based on the previous daily candle's rejection of previous resistance here to the left. In fact, we do have a lower high, lower low. The previous daily, which is marking a low of that candle, lines up with some 4-hour support, and structure on a 4-hour time frame has flipped back bullish as well. So mark that in as far as resistance. We'll mark in these highs. So we've got 4-hour bullish, we've got the weekly forming strong bullish, we've got the daily bearish and counter probabilities. All right, 15 is definitely, well, it's actually bullish. I was gonna say it's bearish, but it's technically it's flipped. Sorry, it is bearish. Yeah, it is bearish. So the 15 is bearish. As to where it will flip back bullish, leave that for the time being, would be above these wicks. So neutral bias on German 40, rejection sells from the current level, also buys above it, rejection sells from higher up. I'm not going to go into it too much because I won't be trading it anyway. German 40, if anyone gives a shit. But what I will be looking to trade is gold, so keep an eye on that. And let's have a good one. In the meantime, let me say good day to those of you in the chat. Franco, good morning to you, brother. Carl, good to have you back on stream, mate. Hope you had a good break. ABKH24, good morning to you. Peter, good afternoon to you, mate. I'll pretty much look at the same as you. Nice one. Peter already had 3 sells in gold today, 3 wins. Nice one, mate. Try 3 double N. No, I do not trade NQ. Yeah, sent 2 trade ideas. It was 2 and a swing trade idea, so 3 into the members group last night. 1 would have been triggered in. Apparently would have been break even on GJ. I thought it would have been a loss after looking at, almost got so close to tapping on this wick. That entry was there, got so close on the IC limit, based on the M30 actually. And apparently when it eventually did tap in, one of my members was saying that it did react on the 1 minute and you would have got very close to the 1-to-1 prior to it dumping. So probably a break even or maybe a win, I'm not sure. But otherwise the other trade did not get triggered in. That was GA. Sent that in also to the YouTube members. I sent a post to the YouTube members. It got close but didn't quite tap in. And also called a potential swing, which still could present on AU for the members, the VIP members this time. But that's not yet presented, so more trades being called in the VIP. Trades being called daily. All right, time for TikTok, and we are rejecting again. So gold, I mean, it's just a choppy mess as it was the last few days. I hope it actually makes some clean moves. Otherwise, it could be a boring session yet again. Oops. No, we're just going to label that horizontal so we know why it's there. How's the thumbnail, YouTube? They're getting better and better, aren't they? Really like the thumbnail. Today's one's the best of the lot so far. TikTok, welcome to the few of you on the TikTok stream. Don't forget to smash that little screen for me. and feel free to ask questions. Just keep it normal if you can. I'm sure the bots will start firing up shortly. Christian, good morning to you. Said, good morning to you. Welcome. Kelsel, welcome to you. Finally decided to go try prop firm. What are your thoughts on them? Look, I understand the business model, and look, I understand why people are so interested in, you know, challenges and prop firms, because they're hard for them to have access, or they don't want to risk their own money, which is fair enough. What I feel about them after being burnt once is you really need to do your homework and make sure you've chosen one that is reputable. That has, thing is, all these reviews can be I mean, that could be crap bullshit reviews for, made up by the actual prop firm themselves. Might not be legitimate reviews, but it's good if you know someone who has an account with a particular prop firm and, you know, they've proven they've got payouts and no issues, and I think it's fine. The only thing I don't like about it, apart from the fact that most of them are scams, is the rules, the parameters, because a lot of them are just bullshit and they make it up on the fly, as per my experience. So you just need to be careful, do your homework, and hopefully you've chosen one that's reputable. And either way, I wish you luck, because again, we're all in this game together, so, you know, we should all just be encouraging and supporting each other. So yeah, hopefully it goes well for you, my friend. But unfortunately, my experience was a really, really bad one. The core network, more to you. That sell level is 50% fib. This probably, but it's not why I've marked it in. But eyeballing it looks like it is. Yeah, it is. It's not the reason why I've marked it in though. Carl, let me look at this chart you sent in. UJ. 4 hour. Yeah. Looks yeah, pretty clean other side of it, especially to the upside, not as clean to the downside. These wicks are likely going to be some traffic on the 15, 30, 1 hour. But if you're basing it on the 4 hour, then it, you know, you got to ignore that, don't you? Because the higher time frame is the overriding time frame, so technically it is a clean straight bullish move up. So yeah, so I'm assuming you're just waiting for close above, or simply a close below. That's I mean, straightforward, easy plan, but it makes perfect sense. So good luck, mate. Hopefully it plays out. Thank you for sharing. Feel free to send charts, guys. Especially YouTube. I have no idea how you guys on TikTok can do it. Christian, between a sea of prop firm scams, the only legit ones are FDMO and Fivers. They're two that I would trust, yes. I think there's one or two others that some of my guys use that don't have issues with. But yeah, as far as I know, FDMO I've seen, I don't have a mate, it's been paid out like instantly, literally within like 7 minutes. I think was the quickest payout after requesting it. Fivers as well, I've heard only good things about, so Mysterious, they punish you if you make too much money. I didn't know, but made 10k one day, made my target 50k. Yeah, they do punish you. They do punish you if you've got a big account and you're due a payout. They'll come up with some bullshit excuse not to pay you out. That's as per my experience. But it was all good until it wasn't. And what I mean by that was when I first asked the challenge, and halfway through the first month, they changed ownership. And after that, the shit hit the fan. It was just went from a legitimate prop firm to complete scam prop firm. And reading the reviews after I started to have issues, everyone had the exact same issues. Everyone who was requesting payouts, substantial payouts. So that's the only thing. It's just hard to, once you're burnt, hard to trust them again. The core network, bang on, mate. Adds another confidence minus. Yep, for sure. For sure, mate. I use the fib slightly differently. But yeah, look, in regards to the daily candle, that's something I actually have in my course as well, but more so based on the previous candle, just marking the 50% as a potential level that I would want sellers to defend if price was to push back to that point, and look for some resistance sells from confirmation of resistance forming on the minor time frame. But when it comes to using the fib for entries, I use it to gauge strength of the candle I'm looking to enter on or against. So you understand more if and when it presents. I do use the fib on stream, not every day. At the minute, there's no reason for me to actually use it, so they work really well. Yeah, look, I find to add confidence, they do work well. Funding pips are good. Core network, I've heard of them. I have no idea though, to be honest. Don't know if anyone actually in my group uses funding pips. Core network advantage in UK for live. FTMO 5 is funding pips funded. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I use IC markets. What does everyone else use in UK broker wise on live accounts? Feel free to share, guys. My experience is a good one with my broker because the spreads are really good. Never really had issues. They're pretty quick in resolving any potential issue. I had something recently about, because I changed my PayPal name to my business name, so they questioned me when I requested a payout, why is the name different to the registered name of the account. So I had to send them documents and that, screenshots, but it was all solved pretty quickly, which is good, and the payout was made very quickly, which is always good. Carl question, would you have considered the IC candle on gold that is currently reacting to the M15? Oh, up here you mean? Yeah, look, technically I can't because it's a multiple bullish candles on my broker's chart. But I'm not gonna lie, prior to the stream I was looking at that, thinking that could be a potential entry, and it's respecting it, but you know, it's easy enough to say afterwards. Said Dax some idea. I went over it before, mate. Yeah, I'd be looking to see how price reacts to the current level. If it closed very weak bullish just now, leaving a long upper wick, and this is when I would use the fib to gauge the strength of this candle. So yeah, the 0.382 is where it needs to close below, and that is for good reason, because below it is also, you're back below that resistance. You will leave a long upper wick into the resistance, which would suggest to me that we're grabbing some upside liquidity in order to make the move back down. So below the 0.32 on the fib would signify to me it's a weak bullish close and just a, you know, likely liquidity grab. And once price becomes to break low on the following candle, it's a good chance it could drop and lead to a deeper pullback towards support. You got some support not too far below, but you could manage to trade at that point, and then targeting the current daily candles low. It's not going to do it though. It's closing a little bit too strong, so nothing at the minute. Favoring sells, that's for sure. You mentioned possible buys above this resistance, but just be wary. It has not yet broken the Asian range high, not retested. I'd be more inclined to look for sell options on German 40. I'll also vouch for FDMO. Also, I see markets here in UK. Yep, nice one. I see charge heavy fees. No. 7 US for a standard lot. It's just standard. Just normal charges. Shit. Sorry. No, it's pretty much the same as every other broker, to be honest. Plus, that just depends on what account I'm using raw spread. If you're on a standard account, I don't think there is. You don't pay commission. But obviously the spread's not as good. Still better than most, I think, to be honest. But I mean, right now on gold, what's my spread? Let me check. Less than a pip, 8 points. Around 7 points to 1.1 pips. So it's a pretty good spread. Fair enough, bro. Well, good luck. Let's print some blues today. Have a good one. Good day all. Yep, you too, mate. That's it. All encourage each other, no matter the way we trade. Or g'day, mate. How's it going?
Morning, Justin. Yeah, well, mate. How are you?
All good. Yeah, all good, mate. Just hoping we have some clean moves for a change on stream. What are we looking at?
Yeah, I feel like you haven't taken a gold trade on stream for a while.
Thursday was the last one.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, but not this week. It's been shit house this week, hasn't it? Tell me more too, mate. Yeah, last Thursday. You do? What are you looking at today? GU or?
Yeah, GU sells below.
Oh, look at that. Just tumbling down to it. Oh, what happened there? Oh, that's the news. That's the news.
Yeah. I've got basically these two areas set for Sunday.
Okay, it came out less. Which is probably bullshit though. Yeah, so what, you're gonna look for some rejection sells as well, I'm assuming?
I haven't actually planned those at all. I've just put in the chat my buys above 1.342 and sells below 1.337.
On the Discord?
8. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yep. It looks clean above those two levels. It's a bit high. Yeah. Nice one. Fair weight, it could be, because he's right back in the middle right now.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Look good, but obviously news. It's funny how pretty much just it drops at it and then it corrects it and it's back to where it was. It's kind of what the news does these days. I don't think it has that big an impact.
There's also, I just don't think there's enough space above that range, above that Asian range high. If you look to just to the left, there's all of that.
Yeah, you got that. Yeah, I think the level you mentioned is a bit better. Could be a bit of weight though. I mean, the other thing to look at is a break or back within. It's a good chance it could come back down to the low.
Yeah, that's a shout actually if we do get resistance form there.
Yeah. One pretty big level, to be honest. AU much the same, assuming AU as well. The one frail price coming out of discount range with heavy momentum. On gold, I wouldn't call it heavy momentum, mate. It keeps triggering some sellers as well. It's just trapped at the minute. Doesn't mean it can't push with momentum, but I wouldn't call this a heavy push. This could resemble also, in my opinion, just a slow trickle up, which a lot of time is followed by a massive waterfall back down in line with the actual trend itself. So who knows? But either way, need to wait patiently and see what's going to present. I'm not going to predict it's going to pump or dump. I need to wait for some sort of catalyst, which is the toughest part when it comes to trading, because as much as we all want to be, you know, in a trade to try and make some money, there's a good chance that if you don't wait for it to present in accordance to your plan, that you're going to actually be losing money. So don't blink. How far do you think it'll drop if it does? Mentioned before, 43.80 to 70 based on the daily time frame. This support. But again, it doesn't mean it's going to make it all in one move. It doesn't mean it has to go to that point. But just looking at previous data, that's where I would think there'd be a good chance it could drop to. To one for not heavy momentum, right? Yeah, not in a minute, mate. Again, it doesn't mean it can't though. But just for the time being, I wouldn't call this a really strong bounce, to be honest. I wouldn't say there's momentum. It's on blink, all good. Presented. So this kind of cluster I see is holding at the minute. It's not one on my chart though. Looking at it today, what happened throughout the Asian session earlier on, I think there was a pretty good opportunity just here. After price rejected, obviously a 30-minute resistance, 1 hour, 15-minute resistance, creating Asia range high. Looks like it rejected at Shanghai Open. Had pretty much a strong, almost engulfing bearish M15, had 5-minute support and closed below it. So that would have been your entry. I wasn't personally on the charts for it, but that to me looked like probably the best option for the Asian session. Here may have been a decent one as well. Based on, yeah, evening style on the M30. Okay, I hope gold doesn't do this the whole stream again. TikTok, if you guys could make sure to smash that little screen for us. Not yet had to block any of the bots. Interesting. It's a good thing. The US Senate for the first time supported resolutions to end the war in Iran. More sanctions between UK and Russia. Regime change is off the table. Iran has shown that it is more resilient than expected. Not a great deal going on news-wise just yet. Yummy wonton. I'll look at D40 sell. It's approaching a level of interest, that's for sure. Yeah, I'll be looking for sells from the resistance, but I definitely want some sort of confirmation. If you're not so worried about confirmations, and if you're going to try to sell as it taps in, just try to get to break even pretty quick, because it could push through. The momentum is quite strong to the upside at the moment on the DAX. What other confluences are left to the upside? You got the 4-hour counter probabilities now being bullish. It's at 4-hour support, so bouncing off a level of interest on the 4-hour. Structurally bullish on the 4-hour. Yeah, I still prefer sells. It's about to flip the M15 structure bullish. The potential pullback buys, not the first impulse. Either way, you're a bit late if you're trying to trade the first impulse. Let it pull back, create support, create a high low, and then potentially buy it. Man, gold. Have a look at GU again. All right, approaching the Asian range high, so it's literally created low. Empire looks of it pretty much the high of the day, or within about less than 30 minutes. Meanwhile, gold is not moving. Don't blink, chances are real move will happen at London Open. It should decide what it does. Look, there's a chance, yeah. Yesterday, London did absolutely nothing again. From memory, it wasn't until well later on that it actually made a move. No, I. All right, so 30 minutes until session open. Let's have a quick look through the candles as well. So 30-minute. Yeah, not a great deal going on. 30-minute below the previous candle's low. There is no margin for anything. Let's have a look at the weighted 1 hours forming. Still respecting, obviously, the previous support, rejecting it. As far as any confirmation, though, there is nothing as of yet. Let's quickly have a look at some of the other pairs as well. Let's see silver if there is anything. There's no, it's been tapped into an interruption. Currently at resistance. GJ, absolute trash. AU, still interested in that swing position if it presents. There's nothing really. EU looks pretty ordinary as well. It's right back in the middle of the range. Daily counter probabilities bearish for our structure. So it's bearish. So I mean, possible sells on EU. We need the 15-minute confirmation, and the catalysts I would look for are the bearish engulfing, which in this case wouldn't be ideal because you won't even have a 1-to-1 down to the support. So it's just that's the candle that would make the move. So what I want to see within this candle is maybe on the M5 a little bit of support present. So if this M5 was to close back, for instance, like so, this is free education, guys. So hit the like button, smash the screen. Followed by perhaps that on the second M5. Only to be followed by the last M5 to perhaps close something like that, which will end up closing the M15 looking like that. So bearish closure at resistance, and within it close below support in the 5-minute. Based off that, coming into the pre-London open candle, I believe that could lead to a deep pullback towards the current daily candles low. So that's the type of catalyst I'd look for to form at the current level on EU. Those who ask me all the time, what's your confirmation? So that would be one thing I'd look at. GU, just wow, up and down all over the shop. GA, looking like there's not much there as well. Possibly would have been a 1 hour to no, nothing. Still got the one from lower down. Nothing much there as well. EA very similar to EU, so the sells could present based on what I mentioned on EU. GN, you still got the interruption lowered down, nothing otherwise. EN looks terrible. UJ not doing much. Yeah, the charts are once again pretty ordinary at the minute. Here we go. It's the first one I've had to block. Profit Algo Pro. Assuming you mean Johnny Sins. Not much, mate. Just watching gold do a lot of nothing in a minute. Goatee. Just waiting, mate. Waiting for a pullback sell or continuation sell below support formed at the pretty much at the daily low. With Metal Bulldogs, good day to you. Can I look at Bitcoin? You want me to look at it the way I analyze gold? I can do that quickly. So weekly, very strong bearish net. Previous weekly, current weekly already has a lower high, lower low. Has no need to pull back, break its own high low if it is to continue bearish. Daily also has a little bit more room to the downside, 75.70 roughly, or 75.700. to me is the level it could potentially pull back to. So it's pulled up just a bit before that level, leaving multiple long lower wicks to the downside, suggesting perhaps we grab downside liquidity in order to make a bit of a deeper pullback. Whether or not that's to create just a lower high and pull back bearish, or to actually retest the high and potentially continue above it, remains to be seen. But bearish on the weekly. Daily, I would still lean more bearish. The 4-hour structure is also definitely bearish here, so my bias would be to the downside. We're currently at some 4-hour resistance. As far as support, bouncing off a level here to the left. So be looking for, by the looks of it, some sell options from the current level. And the 15, I would argue, is also bearish as long as it remains below the 77,753. So yeah, I'd be looking for sell options anywhere within this gray zone. So if it popped up a little bit higher, well, first of all, you got some minor support here, and you'll be flipping the micro trend back bearish in line with the resistance. It's tapped into the 4-hour resistance already. So if it was to close below that point there, which I'll mark in just now, around that 77,058, I reckon that could lead to a deeper pullback and sell off back towards the current daily candles low. So I'd be looking for sells below that point. Aside from that, if it popped up, trade maybe another little swing, then I'd be looking for sell options higher up into the resistance, somewhat like so. It's similar to what it's doing now, but if it once again swings higher, be looking for a break of the micro trend back bearish for sell options. And as far as buys, I want to be above 77,753. Got clean traffic. Doesn't mean I just buy it above that or buy stop it. You might want to let it create first impulse, pull back, form support, create the high low, and look for the buy. You don't always need to be like on the first move, because that first move could also be just a bit of a liquidity grab in order to push back bearish. So sometimes it's best to let it create the move when it's flipping structure, then pull back, let it form support, confirm that maybe it's ready to push back bullish after forming that support, and it's grabbed its necessary liquidity in order to move back up. That's something you could look at, but yeah, otherwise bearish, quite bearish on it. YouTube guys, please hit the like button. There's only 10 likes, guys. You're gonna do better than that. Help me out. Heavy metal bulldogs, all good. Yummy wonton, can you break down E? Not sure what you mean by E. So I think I proved yesterday as well about not always needing to be involved in the market, and sometimes it's of benefit, because I remember someone called a entry based on a 5-minute fair value gap, which I didn't even see, to be honest. I don't think it was ever valid. They would have got wrecked. Would have popped up, would have been a bit of drawdown, would have popped up in a bit of profit, and then it would have got absolutely wrecked not long after. So hence why I say it's not always a good time to be in the markets. If you trade a certain edge that works for you, don't, because it's not presenting, go down to the 5-minute, 1-minute and try to find something, or trade a fair value gap if you don't ever trade them, which I don't. Just stick to the original plan, wait patiently. If it presents, you know there's a good chance it's going to be a nice trade. If it doesn't, so what, you move on. Patchison, good day to you. Yeah, no problem. So basically we are below 4,500, so to me that's a pretty key psychological level, and also high time frame support. So I do believe we break our own low, that could lead to a deeper pullback, deeper sell-off. Potential targets on a higher time frame is 43.80. What I'm seeing is we are bearish across the board here, so really, so long as we remain below 44.87, I'd prefer to look for sell options. So sell options will be upon the pullback to that resistance, or upon a close below and also break, or preferably the Asian range low pull back to retest the support and rejection of that 44.57 sort of region. So preferring sells, mate. YouTube, once again, guys, you could please just hit the like button. There's only 12 likes. It takes 2 seconds. 2 seconds, guys. And the numbers are shit house, really bad. And so half the time I can't be asked streaming anymore. It's really, with these sort of numbers, it's not even worth it, to be honest. Streaming's become a mugs game because all people want is signals the whole time. They don't want to learn how to actually trade for themselves. It's so easy to jump on a stream and just look for a signal. And then when you go off and trade by yourself, you get wrecked because you have no idea. I'm not saying all of you, no, definitely not all of you. But some of you, I know you're in that situation. I was once that person. 8, 9 years ago, I was the same, so I understand. But you're best to learn how to trade for yourself. Like they say, give the man a fish and wait for a day. Teach a man how to fish and wait for a lifetime, and it's so true. It's just people don't have the patience to learn. Arafin. It re-TPs just now, took shorts and buys. Happy for you, mate. I was once that guy under you, but I chose to do it myself. I can trade anytime when I want. That's it. That's what you need to do. Hopefully you learned a lot about discipline and patience and training a plan while you were in my group as well, mate. Because it's the most important thing. Let me know, guys, who's currently running some trades. So let's get this chat pumping a bit. YouTube, let me know who's in trades at the minute. Just a quick yes, no, whatever. Or you can let me know what trades you're in. Patrickson, I think, especially in these tough economic times, people are resorting to trading to flip money on the couch, similar to a sports bet during COVID. Yep, I think it's true, to be honest. I think a lot of people see it as maybe a literally going to a casino. But again, if you trade it right, it can be really rewarding, especially in the future, because once you got an edge and works for you, you got it forever. Yeah, there might be times you need to adjust things. I've done that many times throughout my trading. But yeah, you really need to treat it with respect and learn to actually trade the plan. L, g'day to you. Shorts from 45.07, targeting 44.38. Nice one. Well in profit, mate. So hopefully, just whatever you do, I'm sure you are not going to take a loss from here. But yeah, just make sure you're managing the trade in profit. Arafin got buyers running for 6.3, but that'll work. TP's 4.84. Good work. Just stuck in consolidation at the minute, so to me there's not much, but it doesn't mean there isn't something for you. I'm not going to say, stupid trade or whatever. You may have had a signal, but we'll see. Got a nice buy set up 60. Keep an eye. Nice one, mate. You do you, I do me. And you should not let anyone sway your opinion. 15 minutes until session open, guys. Patrick's in the swing low 44.64, which was broken through. Does that area become an area of interest to you? Current M15 candle is a wick in that region. 44.64. Look, this whole area is, you could drag that up. Really should be that point, to be honest. And that's literally where we've tapped into. But I'm quite bearish at the minute. And for me to bite within this mess or back up, I just don't have any margin, any clean traffic to do so. I don't want to bite into consolidation. So I'd rather it pop up and just trade in line with the bias, which is bearish. For no signals here, boss. I see them myself and execute. There, that's all you can do, mate. That's all you can do. See, there's a lot of opinions on entering early. To be honest, mate, it may not be an early entry. If you, like I mentioned, if you've got a signal, all you can do is take it, execute. I'm not telling you it's an early. For me, it's an early entry, but not for you. So that's totally fine. Again, we all see things differently, and the beauty is, you could profit. And I could both, we could both profit. First spec, g'day to you, welcome. Arafin, yes, not many conferences say it's going the direction I want it to go. So if that's the case, you need to manage the trade, my friend. But at the end of the day, smaller stop loss and bigger risk reward. That's all right, mate. Nice one. You know, wish you luck. Said no setup right now. Franco, nothing yet. Carl, Tony, GJ sell running from yesterday. Nice one. GJ's like an X. I keep looking up from time to time. I don't do that. I've got a lovely lady at the moment, so there's no way I'll be doing that, but I understand. Way of putting it, I suppose. Yogi Zuma joined the TikTok, interested in learning from you. Nice one, mate. Yeah, just keep watching and you'll learn a lot, especially a lot about discipline and patience, which is good. Said maybe sell on DAX. M15 break for low for me. Okay. Yeah, interesting. I'm so strict with price tapping into my levels, and for me, we've not tapped into the level of interest, so I wouldn't sell it personally if it broke low of that previous candle. What I'd rather see it do is come back up to the previous resistance, or back down, sorry. Perhaps create some more support and then pop below it if it isn't to tap into this level first. If it tapped into that level and rejected, we had some 5-minute support and closed below it, pretty much what it's done. Had it tapped into this level first, then yes, I would say I think it's a pretty solid entry. But again, just because it's my belief, it's maybe a little bit early, doesn't mean for you it is. So I wish you luck, mate, and I hope it melts for you if you do take the trade. Yogi took a sell on DAX. Stop loss break, nice one, mate. Paul, good day to you, mate. Trevor, greetings to you, my friend. Man, Cole, please do something. Donk Blink, still bearish bias, I think. Yeah, yes, I'm still bearish. There's nothing yet that's convinced me otherwise. Arif, anyways, good luck with your trades. Today, been awake trading all night. Get some rest, mate. Get some rest. Size DAX 40. Yes. Not this, but I mean, I was looking at it moments ago. What's the sell level? For me, I'd be looking at it pop up to 24, 30, 37.8. Reject that, sorry. Or as I mentioned, pop back down to the resistance here, form support at it within this gray zone, and then begin to pop below that gray zone for perhaps some sells. But we'll flip the 15-minute structure back bullish, so I would still preference it coming up higher personally. Don't blink, 10 minutes, I think it should drop, hopefully. Gold, oh, looks just reversed. It wouldn't worry me if it makes a nice clean move up. It would actually be quite good, but I'd want to see what happens at that resistance we are going to reject or push through it. Sunbus Gone Lens, good morning to you, my YouTube member. I hope you're well, mate. I hope you saw the post yesterday. I'm going to try to do a little bit more of that for the YouTube members. So they're the members who pay a small fee a month just to show some love for me. So appreciate it. So I did keep you guys updated on a potential entry yesterday. I'll try to do more of that. And I hope you're doing well, my friend. Araffin possibly if lower down to 4380 got a nice, yeah, that's what I've looked at too. That's I agree with that level. So I saw level for gold 4481.5. That's the start of this zone, or back below pretty much the daily low. All right, this is all right. At least we're trading a clean move. At least there's volume at the minute as well. Okay, all right, guys. I'll be back in 1 minute. Araffin TP close by. Hopefully it taps in, mate. Need to break 78. Oh, jeez. Hopefully it took some profit. Possible rejection from 70. Right, back into consolidation here. Sells from 85. Not a bad area, yeah, but needs some confirmation. Oh, silver pushing. Maybe gold will too. Personally, read each pair as an individual. Yeah, so do I. Because sometimes they don't always move in line together. Sometimes silver takes lead, and sometimes gold will take the lead. For the most part, it tends to be gold. But yeah, silver is pushing quite bullish. Not sure what that level is. It's a previous level from a few days back by the looks of it. Going with the music. Yeah, it's really pushing at the minute. How about the majors? Let's have a look at that. No. Oh man, oh man. Hopefully London will give this thing a bit of a move. Just rank.
I'm waiting for my GU cells to present.
Yeah. Up, down, even this, you know, looks very indecisive at the minute. Plus the
There's a
fact that,
nice range below that horizontal ray that you've got
yeah,
on the 30 and 15, yeah.
yeah. But the only thing is as well with London Open, that may filter in the news as well, and which could be of benefit actually to sales. So I think it came out negative. Yeah. So we'll see. Might get your chance. And is gold ever going to give me a freaking clean entry? It's be frustrating. Honestly, the cleanest entry for me today, I didn't take it, I wasn't on chart, but it would have been up here. Again, based off the 15 rejection, based off the 30 rejection, tapping into the 1 hour resistance, based off the 5-minute break of support as well. That to me would have been the entry of the day. So personally, no trades for me yet today. Purchasing gold and silver seems so cheap. Tempted to open a small position and let it run. Yeah, not gonna lie, I've thought about that quite a bit, to be honest as well. But the only thing is with that, a small position, I mean, you gotta have the margin in your account to back it up, because if it keeps dropping, you're gonna hit margin calls. So it's as good as it sounds, you gotta think about that as well. That's the other conundrum you have. It's not a bad idea, I must admit. But you just gotta have the margin to back it up, because if it continues to drop, your small position is going to be taken out pretty quickly. Going to cut you out of your trade. Side 4505, sell it is entry 4505. Yeah, potential level of interest. Yeah, the one from earlier would have been back below 4500, so that's another confluence. Retest of 4500, rejection, close below it. Araffin, send you a DM. Want to show my first mentor my trades now? Nice one, mate. Just let's wait for not NY, London Open, which is under 2 minutes away. So thanks for the live stream. Glad you appreciate it, my friend. Welcome to those of you on TikTok. Make sure to smash that little screen for us. Welcome to all of you on YouTube, and please don't forget to hit the like button. BMPW, g'day to you. Yogi Zuma, EU. Can I quickly look at it again? So it did reject, but as I mentioned before, that strong bearish close, you break back at support, so it makes it difficult. Sells below low is what you want to be looking at. Continuation, let it break through the Asian range low, retest it, pull away from it. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. Pull back, sells again. All right, under 1 minute till London Open. What's going to happen here? Araffin, have I heard of ORB strat? It's working pretty well with most pairs. Heard of it? No idea what it is. All right, here we go, guys. London Open, up or down? What do you guys think? Up or down? No up wick. Tempted to do something different on this stream, but we literally just London Open roll the dice. It's not a side account. It'd be interesting to see if, you know, everyone, I would not have any idea how to do it, and probably I wouldn't legally be able to do it as well. Yeah, nah. But it'd be a fun one for sure. To just roll the dice at session open. Perhaps wait for the close of the first 15 and close the trade in profit or loss. Be very different. RFN 84 TP, I need just to smash through. Could do so, mate. Could do so. There's a lot of noise there, mate. I'm not going to be able to have a look at it just now, but as long as you're doing well, that's the main thing. All right, popping up 2 resistance here. Let's see. Coming close. Yep. London Open, full margin buys, Carl. Yep. Probably easy to do with options, but options I think is very, well, pocket options anyway, it's very different. Pocket options you can trade over the weekend. You can trade whatever, gold, majors, crosses. No idea how they do it. Well, this looks like it's going to be another very entertaining session of not much going on gold. Quickly have a look at some other pairs. GJ, nothing. AU, still well off, setting up that swing trade. EU back at supports, tapped in, it's rejected, tapped in, but there is nothing there. Potentially buys if you get, similar to what I mentioned on the 15 to the downside, but now back to the upside. GU, not anything there at the minute. GA coming close to the interruption from yesterday, which is still technically valid. Another one lower down as well, which got very close to being tapped into, but not quite. GN I think was the other one. Similar in GN here, will come into play soon. See if there is any to the upside. Yeah, you got an interruption sell. BN. Have a look at GA. No. Unless there's one in the 30. Not really. Checking from 81. Apologies, guys. Let me zoom in. Christian, same as yesterday. London Opens test me up. Unfortunate, mate. Again, hopefully you're following a plan though, and didn't just jump in a trade for the sake of trying to be in a trade or being in a trade. From closing 8%, 81. Nice one. Moments like these where honestly I look at the charts and think they're off coming back later. That's what if I wasn't streaming and I saw it in a mess like this on gold, I just set alerts, literally just set alerts, and then once it pings, come back and have a look at the charts. Make sure to do your analysis prior to it though, so you know the levels and why you're looking at those levels. I just walk off and set alerts. Closed early, closed them already at equal highs. This could dump right now. Fair enough, mate. At least closed in profit. 50% still running. Fair enough. Rain, there is no sell limit. As far as the level I want to potentially look for sells, a confirmation sell it from, that's around at 44.80, 81.50 up to 44.85 basically. I don't think I need to shift the stream times because London is just shit out. It really is. Paraffin should come a little earlier, 6 a.m. Doesn't seem like there was much at that point as well, to be honest. Best times Asian session, without doubt. I believe it's the best session to trade call. And I remember people used to always say, don't trade Asian session, there's no volume, it doesn't move. Bullshit. Bullshit. It moves a lot more volume and much more range than what it does during London session, that's for sure. And probably MY for that matter. Positioning zone is exact. These zones are really spot on for the most part. Today I would have had one literally, would have had it probably right there, and it literally would have tapped right into it and rejected. And that's where I would have looked for sells from had I been on the charts for it, which I was not. But again, there is good reason why I mark in the zones the way I do, because if you were to look the amount of times price taps into these boxes, my zones, the blue ones being the minor levels, the grey ones being the 4 hour and above. I mean, if I had $1 for every time, I wouldn't even need to probably trade, to be honest. Doesn't mean they don't always, doesn't mean that they always reject. Sometimes they, for the most part, they'll have some sort of reaction to it. Whether or not it actually rejects completely and we end up closing back in the opposite direction or not, not always the case, but for the most part, it will. So it's again, it's the reason why I mark in the zones the way I do, as opposed to just marking horizontals, because I've seen other guys, as soon as price begins to pop through a horizontal, they'll just buy it or sell it, whatever, and get wrecked. Paraffin, trade 6 a.m. to 9, 1 to 4, 7 to 10. Wow, trading a lot, mate. Full time. All right, good luck. Hope it goes well. But yeah, mate, first and foremost, your health has to come first. If you're sleeping like a couple hours, waking up to trade, couple hours again, waking up to trade, it's, how sustainable is that? There is no way I'd be able to do that. No way. I'd be pissed off the whole time. I'd be in such a shit mood. But if it's for you, by all means, I'm not gonna tell you it's, you know, not more right than newer. If it works for you, you keep doing it. Exactly at the fib, 0.5, 0.6. Paraffin, nice one, mate. BMPW, what time do you join Asia session? What times I look if I'm looking at charts? From around the Tokyo Open, which is 10 a.m. my time, up until around, if I have the chance, about 11:30 a.m. midday, or if I have a little bit more time, up until about midday my time. So 11 a.m. my time is the Shanghai Open, and generally speaking, that's the what candle has the most volume. That's the time of day where you get usually quite a big spike up or down, and that is today. That was this candle. So Tokyo Open pushed things bullish, Shanghai Open rejected and pushed things way back down in line with the actual previous daily candle. So something to keep an eye on. Alphabet presents similar yesterday as well. Trevor, totally agree. Asia session has shown way more consistent setups than any other. Yeah, I 100% believe, there is no doubt about that. Displays keys, that guy, some machine like 2 hours in the gym doing 2,000 sets. Is on a machine. Yeah, I don't like machine hogs. I don't really use machines much, to be honest, but still, it bench hogs, that type of thing. The worst is when they sit in a freaking phone and they get a bit shitty at you if you ask them how long they got left. Warren, how much do you reckon it needs to trade on a live account? Whatever you can afford, mate. Depends where you are, because the reality is, here in Oz, if you've, I mean, I think minimum, I'm not too sure. I think the minimum you need an account to open a gold trade, that's just on a 1 cent lot. I think you about $400 or $500 minimum. Majors, not sure. But again, whatever you can afford to potentially lose, because there is the risk of that, of losing it. Trevor, Asia session for me is between 2 a.m. and 8 a.m. That's tough, mate. Yeah, Arafin, we get the picture now. We get the picture, mate. You can calm down a little bit. Calm down, my friend. Move on to the next trade. Don't need to gloat. You need to be humble. Otherwise, the markets will turn around and humble the shit out of you. You watch. Alright, so once again, we're at a level of interest and we are currently reacting to it. So, could be possible options on the next M30. So after the next M15. Tommy, all good, mate. Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully we get some nice move for MI. No worries, I'll catch you after, mate. Trade promotions. Oh. Again, just be humble. Just be humble, mate. We're happy for you. I hope you all make profit. But just be humble. It's better if you go about discreetly. I know you're younger, so it's probably a different mindset as well. But no one really likes the show pony, my friend, so... And I swear I just blocked you, Said. I'm gonna block you again either way. No, it's all good. I'm happy you're making money, mate. But again, just be humble. Don't need to update every 2 seconds about your position. Warren, do you trade Asian on YouTube or Zoom? No. Maybe should a couple days a week. I'm not sure, but it's just because I don't know by the day if what I'm going to do, if I'm going to be on the charts or not. To be honest, it'd be a really random thing. For instance, I was on the charts today at about 11 a.m. my time for about half an hour. I just checked it at that point, but I realized I missed the entry about 15 minutes earlier, to be honest. So I didn't really stick around, and I went to the gym. So Moscow on lens, London is always like this, Mr. Johnson, movement always poor. Yeah, for the most part. Trevor, for me, you need only minimum of about $5 to start trading gold. Oh, really? Yeah, it's different here. No way you could open a position with $5 in your account on gold. You wouldn't have the margin to do so. Marathon? That's all good. It's all good. But yeah, we've heard it the whole stream. So just chill, just chill. All right, so the 15 closed and closed back below. So now it's similar to what I mentioned before on, I think it was EU. We're looking for the same type of thing to happen on gold. So my catalysts, once prices at a level of interest, are as follows. First of all, as good as a catalyst this one is, there's an issue about this one. If it was to present just now, who can tell me what the issues would be? Give you about 10 seconds to think about it. What would be one of two issues? There's two issues here. If that was to present, it's a good strong catalyst, but it's not going to be quite, it doesn't, and there's a good chance it will drop off the back of that, likely will. But the issue for me is no wick. No, that's not too bothered about that because the M30 has one. It'll be the opening of the new M30. Has it closed engulfing? No, technically it has. That's the catalyst, engulfing. But good that you guys having a crack at it. I'm happy that you actually having a crack at it because we're trying to do some education here at the same time. So people ask me all the time, what confirmations do I look for? The main one here is, first of all, you got no margin. Back down to a level where price could bounce off. This candle was the last candle to form support, so there is no margin. Second of all, stop loss is going to be way too wide and you don't have near a one-to-one, so it's just not worth it. As good as a catalyst it is in this situation, it's not the one we want to see. So what I could look for next, and this is the one I really want to see present if there is to be a trade, is maybe this 5-minute close like so. And as I mentioned before in EU, it doesn't have to necessarily be this sort of sequence, but something like this. A bit of support form within the 15. Rejection once again. Closing the M15 looking somewhat like so. And as we break through the catalyst 5-minute candle on the following M15/30, in my opinion, that will lead to a deeper sell-off and we will have the margin to sell it back down to that support. So that's the type of catalyst I would look out for in this situation. Now it may even present slightly differently. What it might do is you might have consecutive bearish candles to begin, and then it's followed by a very weak bullish pause. And it, once again, you got that minor support form within the 15. Once again, as price begins to break it on the following M15 just there, that becomes your entry level. So once again, guys, free education, irrespective of taking a trade or not, because if you're paying attention, or if you're going to re-watch the stream later, watch this part because you can learn a lot from it, and you could see this potentially setting up yourself in your own time. And okay, I know what to look out for here. I know what a high probability setup looks like, and you can trade it. It happened today, as I mentioned, up here. Happened here. Go down to the 5-minute, you can see perfect example. Didn't close engulfing, was a really strong rejection though. 5-minute support. You had some 5-minute support just there. Closed below that support, so the support is technically that candle. Close below it, upper wick, breaks below, led to a sell-off. That's the type of candles we're waiting for now. There is to be a trade. So far looking okay, looking not bad. Still got 2 more M5 candles, so maybe if this one closes bullish followed by another bearish close, then we could have potential entry. Thank you for sharing the live. Discipline is key. You just have to progress the overload through reps or weights with good form. But some people just do too much in it. Yeah. Exactly. It's all about form. For me, my weight, I lift bugger all compared to what I used to be honest. Concentrate on form, contracting muscle, mind muscle connection, that type of thing. And mark my word, I'm really feeling it. After a set, after a session, I can feel it. Whatever muscle group I've hit for that day, I can really feel it. When I drive home after a leg workout, I'm shaking. Honestly, my legs are shaking. It's probably not the safest thing to drive home after it, but and I'm not lifting massive weights on my legs as well. It's just form. I'm under tension. High. Jeez, can't think of it. Not high resistance. High intensity. So I don't break for minutes. I don't look at my phone for half an hour between sets. I have my music playing and that's it. Still trying to understand that margin story. Form is king. Trevor, yeah. So the margin story is the margin to have enough pips to target. So with the engulfing scenario, you don't have the pips to target. So if that's the case, because the target is here, that's the last candle at form support. So to target that level, you've got maybe 40 pips max. Your stop loss is going to be 100 plus pips. It's not worth it. Whereas if that second catalyst I spoke about presented from up here, then all of a sudden you do have the margin to trade it back down to this support. So that's pretty much what I meant by it. Donk, come on, block the drop. Could get the setup, guys. Could get it. Dylan Long 44.79. Alright, I wish you luck. Marathon, you're out, break even. Fair enough. Move out, filling your own house abroad. Nice one. Life changed so fast. Happy for you, mate. And I hope the move goes well. But once again, just be humble about it. So look at the 5 minutes just quickly. All right, so what it could come down to if this actually closes bearish is the following one closing back weak bullish. Without it, all I've got is a bearish closure, which some would consider that to be good enough. I personally wouldn't. What I want to see if I was to consider anything is the new channel open straight bullish and maybe at the back of that bit cheeky little entry, but I'd really rather that minus support form. Whether it be on this candle or the following candle, M5. You goals too big for you to stay humble. That's fine, mate. I understand you're younger, mate, so you might think a little bit differently when you get older. You might understand what I mean a bit more, but all good. Again, I wish you luck. I don't wish anything bad upon you, so hope it all plays out for you. All right, so we could get that support just here. Perfect. Yep, nice one. So now it comes down to the next candle. Now it doesn't necessarily need to engulf, but close below the body, preferably at minimum. Let's just mark that in and see what it looked like in 15 here. Should be good enough, to be honest. Should be good enough. Trevor, you get it now? Nice one. Is that not called Harami? Well, sorry, I have no idea what you're talking about. Marathon, I learned from experience, only 19, 20, so got a long time. Happy I got into this. You're lucky, mate. I didn't get into trading till bloody, how old was I? About 35. So very late I was, to be honest. I'm an old man, ladies and gents. Alright, what would stop be if this is to present? How wide would a stop loss be? Low 44, 76, 44, 44, 76, 1.5. So stop will be quite a wide one. It will be about 80, roughly 80 pips if it is to present, but it is what it is. Want to see an upper wick form on the following candle? First of all, it needs to be confirmed, and as long as it creates a decent upper wick, you can use that to manage the trade as well. Patrickson, do you think institutional traders work off these support and resistance levels? I think there's a good reason to say yes, because how often price reacts to them. But I mean, who really knows? But I would say they look at certain like round numbers, certain strong levels of support and resistance. Sometimes they might want to buy in lower down. They might push things bearish. They might obviously tank the market, make some profit off that, and then buy it lower down. It's hard to know, mate, but I think there is case to argue for it. Arafin, just want to find the quickest legal way to make money so I can open my business. Nice one. Trading all forever do, but wanted to do it scale future and great empires. Wish you all the best. At least you're dreaming high, and I hope it all works out. A.C., what do you think about geopolitics, micro? Geopolitics, well, obviously has a massive impact on the markets. Macro, it's hard to know because of, to be honest, the stories change by the minute when it comes to both sides, especially when you're talking about, I'm referring to the war and that. I would have thought off the back of it, gold could be going up, but I understand oil is going up, and it's generally speaking inversely correlates to gold, and gold price is being pushed down. A few reasons for that. It's harder to mine it as well. It's not as cost effective to mine it because of the fuel needed to obviously mine gold, silver, that type of thing. So therefore the mining companies are less profitable. Otherwise though, I mean, micro, that could lead to more of a pullback on the metals. When it comes to the macro though, I do believe that we are definitely going to continue to the upside. I mean, I have no idea what's going to happen when it comes to war and that. Who does? No one knows. You know, geopolitics, unfortunately I'm not a politician, and I'm, you know, not in that sort of situation to be able to tell you. And all right, so we've not closed how I want it to close obviously here, so we're closing bullish, still nothing at the minute on gold. It's a very broad question. It's a fair question though, but Marathon, rather take 5 years to learn this than work 5 years to opening a business. It's a good point. Everyone will take a different amount of time to learn as well. Patrickson, so I don't understand, you're now looking at a sell if it breaks 44.79. No, I wasn't looking for a sell if it broke that level. I was waiting for a close below, or at 5-minute support on the 15-minute time frame. Confirm, first of all, 15-minute rejection of the resistance, 5-minute close below support, or below the bodies anyway. So we've not got that. Marathon, he waits, don't like market now. Catch, yeah, all good, mate. Well done and good luck. Ali, what do you think setting your buys day? What are you seeing? What are you setting your buys day? Bearish for the time being, but do see opportunities above current resistance if it was to close above. Marathon, that's mate, you got some massive goals. I respect it. Apparently Australia's a company. Apparently we're not a country. Saw something about that. But if that's the case, the government should be, they should be given the ask. They should all be given the ask. Labour Party should be just shipped off into shark infested waters. All good, Arafin. Take care, mate. 495, 502. Fair enough, fair enough. Kendrick. WR kangaroos real? Yes, they are. You can eat them as well. Trevor, it is a candlestick pattern where next candle is 50% of previous candle. No idea, to be honest, mate. No idea what you're referring to. I'm not gonna lie. Laws and g'day to you. Hope you're well. Joining very late. All good. All good, my friend. Hope you're well. So let's see if we get a wait around for this M15 going into overtime here, and let's see if we get a strong bearish rejection now on the M15. The bearish engulfing could present here, and I would consider that valid so long as it doesn't make the move down. The issue would be stop loss, so would need the following candle to create a decent upper wick, so we could therefore use that as a level that price, if it was to continue bearish, likely not going to begin to break above it. So that might look, for instance, if this was to close like so, following candle create an upper wick like so, maybe even rejecting the 5-minute support. Then if it was to continue bearish, break the candle's low, there's a good chance it's not going to pop back up to break the 5-minute high, back above that 5-minute support. So that is what that will be based off. Gonna wait just under 12 minutes, or just over 11 minutes. M30 IC about to tap. Yeah, it's, I don't like the area, to be honest. It's tapped into target as well. Very choppy. It's bearish as well. Personally, I'm not considering that, but if you are, let's get to break even quickly. Ali, do you think a chance gold can still tap on 49.8 level this year? Yeah, eventually. Hutchinson, yep, good point. Could even come lower, 3,800. But again, very bullish long term. EC. Right now, gold is making a heavy fake out. Could be. So I'm looking for Donk Blink. Yes, still bearish, mate. Still bearish. Expecting this resistance. I'm just waiting for my cue. Got an M5 close below that horizontal, but I want the 15 to end up closing below. Over short should be higher chance of success due to bearish bias. I think it's a higher probability. But yeah, but again, still need to wait for the right confirmation to enter. And although it might be the right confirmation as to what I'm looking for, doesn't mean it's going to be the right time for that to play out. So all you can do is trade based on your knowledge and what works for you, and know exactly what I want to look for in this situation. Just need to wait just under 9 minutes to see. If it does present, we could get involved in a trade. If not, likely gonna have to call it. Hutchinson, yeah, I believe probably even higher than that. Silver, I think you've seen sort of multiple hundreds. All right, so this is at the minute a liquidity candle, broke the high, now pop back down to break low. So off the back of that is a high probability it's going to close bearish. A.C.T. Gold is sensitive because DXY and US 10-year yield finding a balance point. Fair enough. I respect it. I don't use it as confidence. Scalper, I just watch the gold chart, but I do respect, you know, that belief. All right, popping back up here. Let's see. We need that rejection. We need that strong close. Doesn't necessarily need to be engulfing, but it needs to be a strong close. .786 I think would be a good level to signify to me it's a strong bearish close. If it's above it, it's not the strongest close, to be honest. It could just be a bit of a pause before it pushes through resistance, so we'll see. Trevor, ever use that fixed profile volume range? No, I don't, to be honest, mate. Been working on something that does involve the use of one or two indicators to determine that things are actually in a bit of an impulse phase. That's something I will be handing to my members once it's ready, once I'm convinced. It'll take time though. Been putting it together, worked on it today, and it should basically provide members with constant signals, certain entries. Be exclusive to the members. All right, let's see. We're trying to reject here. Let's have a look at the 5 minute again. Yeah, so that perfect, that point 786 is perfect because that's the bodies of the 5 minutes. So we want to be below that point, similar to what I mentioned before. Won't actually be closing below the support, but as long as it closes below that point, I will consider it. and we're popping back up just in a minute. So we want to close below there, basically, in the next 5 minutes. Cool. Yep. I think it's very cool, to be honest, especially yeah, I mean, it's looking very promising. It's going to take a bit of time though. In the meantime, I've been calling trades daily in trade ideas section. Yesterday was only 2 trades. The day before was about 5. This is the trade ideas section. The thing is, I don't give the actual pinpoint entry because everyone's got a different price. So I explain the level, why that level is a signal, but the guys have to pick up the pieces for themselves. They have to put it together as to what the actual price is. It's no good for me saying, for instance, buy gold at 44.88.23 upon whatever confirmation, or buy stop this level, because it's not going to be the same on everyone's chart. So for instance, if I say buy 44.87.13 on someone else's chart, 44.8713 might be a tad below, might be a tad lower down, and they might get triggered in early and when they should not have been triggered in. So I don't do it that way. I believe it's, unless everyone's on the same broker, same price, it's very tough. I've done it before. It's bloody hard in another group. So I do it differently. Trade ideas, I leave the guys overnight my time with entry, or even before it, even after the stream. Yesterday I called the 2 after the stream. Otherwise, I'll leave my guys with ideas for the evening my time into NY session. Whoever candles are the best showcase. Yep. Price action. Don, thank you for sending a rose. Appreciate it. I mean, this rejection right now maybe suggests that we could continue bullish, but I still don't have that catalyst yet to buy. We're still below the resistance here. We need to really start to drop if there is to be a trade in the next minute and a bit. Shit session again. Charts been absolute rank. Probably you'd be just focusing mostly on shorts. Yeah, so would I, to be honest. Even if it's higher up, still look for sells. But what happened? God knows, it's just been shit, hasn't it? No, it's not presenting, so it's not tick the box, guys. So off the back of that, I'm gonna hang around. I'm gonna personally go off, had some dinner, do a few things before I jump on a call with my members later on. So again, still be looking for rejection. Perhaps if get a little bit of this sort of presenting on the M15 now, even a strong close, maybe closing the 1 hour back bearish. Don't think it will close the hourly back bearish. We'll close the 30 though. So if you're looking at the 30 now as a potential confirmation, using a closer below 5 minute support. Otherwise, just wait for something like this to present on the M15. So another bit of a strong rejection, a little bit of support, and then as price begins to break the support on the second M15, the new M30, lead to a sell-off. That's the type of thing I'll probably look out for. But I'm not going to hang around for it because it might not present. And if it pops up, what I like about it is it's triggered in sellers at the resistance. So if it wipes out those sellers and starts to close above, now I do believe, whoops, that should be green. I do believe the buyers will start to look a good option. You may even have an interruption present if it engulfs like so, then I'd be looking for the buy limit. So that is what I'd keep an eye out on moving forward, guys. Do trade safe, don't do anything stupid. It's a big day, FOMC to come very late into proceedings. Otherwise, guys, we'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully charts will be a little more friendly for us tomorrow. Till then, trade safe, have a good one, and I'll catch you again. Cheers, team. Bye, guys.